Well, I got so many new options now.
All right, welcome Chicago Baseball Podcast Playoff Edition, Week 22. I don't need to read the prompter this week. We will be discussing the playoffs, championship matchups, and the final season standings. I will talk about the consolation bracket because that's important to me, even though I'm going to have no chance of hosting because I got to buy. But we'll talk about Max because we love Max on the show. So we'll be rooting him. As always, I'm joined by the executive producer of the show, the co-host, the commissioner, Kids for the Win. What's up, buddy?
Not much. Happy Labor Day. And, it really feels good to get that first week bye and, be in first place. It's natural. You get that natural feeling. This is a natural feeling for me. All my minions and all the people that are underneath me and my teams, I got a Scott team, I got a little bit of a Ken team. They're all underneath me doing what they should be doing.
But don't we have just as much of your team then?
Yeah, Rhys Hoskins had 2 home runs for me today, so thank you.
Hey, that's good. I'm playing against myself. I've said it a million times. It's more challenging this way when I give all my good players out and then I pick up what's on the waiver wire and make some trades and
Well, thank you, Robin Hood.
We give you players as well, so I just don't get how that works.
So
every trade that we give you somebody. Like I give you the great Garrett Hampson.
You can't win them all. I mean, if I did that, then I don't know. But I had to take some. It was a pity trade. I felt like I was feeling bad for you.
Well,
I got blindsided on that one. I still love Garrett Hampson. We talk like once in a while.
You and Garrett Hampson?
Yeah.
They're FaceTiming after this. We'll introduce your minions here. We got PJ finishing in 5th place. In the regular season, we got Sean finishing in 4th place and Scotty who finished in 3rd place. So welcome, gentlemen. Welcome.
What up, Bill?
We couldn't get Drew. He's doing a fantasy football draft, and Niz is out with the in-laws at the Chinese restaurant probably. So. Ahoy, Captain. How was game night the other night?
All right.
Hope that thing didn't continue until after date night.
Right.
I'm cruising through this matchup this week.
Captain stabbing.
Ahoy, Lando!
The love boat, my friend, the love boat. So we'll break down the final standings. Maddie finishing 1, Drew 2, Scotty finishing 3, Sean 4, PJ 5, Miz 6, Chris 7, me 8, 9, Memo 10, Dave 11, 10, and Max finishing out in 12th place in the regular season. But again, like you said, the regular season place is not the chump heat. It is the last place in the playoffs. So, Merry Christmas, Scotty. Maddie's got his Viking horns from his Bass Lake days as the cardboard box champion. Sean, I guess you and me probably should go find something. I'm sad, I guess.
Right now.
I don't know. So, that's the final standings. Came down the last week, especially between 1 through 4, and Sean's going to get a hat. So
this podcast is off the rails, man.
I'm glad we don't have a 40-minute time limit this week, like last week when they cut us off. So, Maddie, you're the first place, so why don't you tell us how great you are again?
I could do that, or I could just say that I know like Scott and I and like me and you, Dom. I mean, I've talked about a couple people, but looking at the top 3 teams and looking at everyone else, it's pretty crazy. But what I was looking at, did you get a hat? No. Actually, PJ was it 2 years ago? PJ actually has the highest regular season win total.
I couldn't find it.
136. No one's come. I mean, people have come close. Like I had 120. What did I have? I had 127.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that
Are you talking about all time? Like single
All
season?
time I looked. Just
Okay.
in the regular season, he has the most regular season win total at 136.
That was a good year.
Not like cumulative, but just in a single season, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was 2 years ago. He had 136 wins going into the playoffs.
Nice.
Pretty good. That was a really good team of yours. I was in second place behind you, and I do remember that season.
Couldn't find a fancy hat.
Do you sleep with that thing? Because every time we have a podcast, it is always on.
Never leaves home without it.
I know.
But
It's in an office.
I don't know. It was tough. I was scared of Scotty's team going into this, and I wanted to buy. Drew's team was coming up, and I don't know. It was weird. Like the first half of the season versus like the second half, and just the way that the whole season went. I still think that like Dave gave up too quickly. Just his team. I don't know. I think he gave up too quickly. Chris never made enough moves or never did anything really to get him out of this 6th or 7th spot. And PJ, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, haven't you been in like 5th place the whole season?
I mean, pretty much.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like this season's been set besides Scott, me, Sean, and Drew. I mean, those are the 4 people that have been playing for anything, I think.
Yes.
Right. I didn't want to have a week without any fantasy baseball this week, so I decided to let Maddie take over the lead so I could play this week. But it's got to be kind of boring not playing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good strategy. It's a good
That's
strategy.
why we're
You don't
doing
want
this
your
podcast.
You don't want that team resting for 2 weeks and then going into see what happens in playoffs in football when that team rests week 17 and then gets a bye and then they get bounced in the playoffs. So well done, Scotty. We're always thinking mathematic, thinking of the odds there. So well done.
Sean looks really happy right now. Are
Sean.
your pants off? Tell me your pants are not off.
Pants are still on. I just wait.
I want to see that trophy, and make sure there's not like a hole in the side of it somewhere.
No, we got cork right here.
Yeah, do you take it out every once in a while?
It hurts.
Wow. So we will move on to this week's matchups. We will go break them down. We got Scotty versus Sean versus PJ. I think it should be a very close offense. I see PJ taking 4 out of 5 of the offense. I see Sean winning the stolen bases. On that side, I think pitching is going to be close. PJ has a 13-10 advantage in starting pitching. So I'm giving him the nod in Ks and quality starts. So I got PJ winning 6-4 with the upset there over Sean.
Yeah, I think PJ's team's been pretty hot of late. I was looking at it. He's got some favorable matchups, especially going on this week. So, and if you look at it right now, it's a little different with the ER and whip that PJ had. So I would also give this to PJ. I think at like a 6-4. I don't know, like, have you guys had a lot of saves the last couple weeks?
I had Doolittle on the DL. He just got off. Rael, so he just got off. So I have like 3 closers.
Sean, what did you have last week, Sean?
4 closers, and I had 5 saves.
Okay, so then that would be the only thing I feel like could swing it. I counted what, Dom, you said 13-10 for starters?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I had too. But PJ, you said something different. You said 14-14?
Oh, I'm gonna have 14. I'm picking up a double starter tomorrow.
Oh.
You crafty, you know.
And
I mean, you can bid on him, Sean.
He
Who
doesn't
wins
have
the
any money.
tiebreakers? Who won the season series?
Sean gets tiebreakers.
Sean has tiebreaker on this though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I was thinking of too. Like I was looking at it, and I don't know. It's gonna be close. PJ's. I mean, I hate doing this on Mondays because then you're looking at it and
Right.
kind of sways you a little bit. But if it is
Obviously,
6-4,
Going 6-4-1, that's tough. That's tough to come back from. So
yeah.
I would have given PJ the slight advantage before, like, knowing what happened today, and now I'm giving him like a 65% chance of moving on at this point.
I'm cruising to a victory.
You already said it twice.
Love the props. Love the props. Sean, come on.
No,
What the props you got from?
Anything?
Other than the
my
football
team's
trophy.
sputtering right now, so I couldn't win when somebody sat all their players. So I have nothing to say right now.
I think this is going to be close. I really do. I think you're right about the batting. I think he takes stolen bases. And then look, maybe K's, 5Ks are fine, but he's got some big strikeout pitchers. He's winning the RA and WHIP probably, and saves. So there's 3 there. If he ties at 5-5 or 4-4-1 or 4-4-2, that's a victory for Sean. So I actually have to beat him, straight up beat him. So we'll see. I don't know. Sean, tough. This is a tough matchup, man. I don't want to play any of these teams in the playoffs. Do you? I mean, tell me who the weak links are.
I mean, going up against.
What did he say?
I said I'm playing the weak link.
He's not here too. I love it.
He didn't sell them.
Sean, this is what I was going to say about your team, and you do whatever you want when it comes to this time, but Hendricks is your last pitcher that goes. Depending on what PJ does, he's playing Milwaukee, and PJ, I think you have no one playing on Sunday, I saw.
I probably have the pitcher I pick up tomorrow.
Oh, then that would be the only guy. But then, But then the 13-10, so 14-10 is a lot closer. A lot farther away, I mean.
Means is who you bid on? The dude from Baltimore?
Yeah. You can bid on him right now, Sean. Go for it.
He has no money.
He has no money.
I know.
Wanted to.
I'm good.
You do. You have Soroka and Tanaka going. Tanaka's going against Boston. 7:08 game. Late. Usually it's 6, isn't it? And then Soroka and Washington. So the advantage that PJ does have is his guys are playing in some pretty good ballparks. So like I was saying before. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's gonna be close.
Well, I think if Sean wins, it's going to be because fuckhead from Milwaukee goes off again.
Yelich?
Yelich goes off.
He doesn't have that many games. Yelich, I think he's only playing 4 games or 5 games.
Well, Milwaukee's kind of throwing the towel, aren't they?
He's hit a home run today.
Cubs.
He had a home run today, yeah. Why are they throwing in the towel?
I don't know. I mean, how far back are they to the Cubs right now? Aren't they like 4 or 5 games back? And then you got a couple teams
with the Cubs losing the last 2 games, I thought Milwaukee was they were 1 or 2 games behind.
They're like 3.
Yeah, and you got a couple other teams there too.
No, they're in it though. They're not throwing in the towel for sure.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
You got Philly, Arizona, and the Mets in between Milwaukee and the Cubs.
Yeah, so Yelich goes Houston, then day off, then a 4-game series against the Cubs. So you got that going for you.
Which is nice.
You also have Will Myers in your lineup.
You got that going for you, which is nice.
You got a bunch of shit going for you. 100 dozers in Miami. That's awesome.
My guy.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And it's at home, so you gotta like those odds, Sean.
Yeah.
You got the Cubs at home.
Good one.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I might. This might swing like a 7-3 victory for PJ.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll take it. Who do I play then if I win or Sean wins? How does it work?
You're gonna play me. One of you 2 losers will play me.
Yeah, you can't reseed.
Are you able to give us some players, Mandy? Are you willing to bless us with some players?
Yeah, I can't now. No, it's a hard no on that one.
Okay, are you sure?
How many hats do you have?
Some guys.
Players?
Do you have more than where are all these hats coming from? Is that even a hat?
He's in his hat room.
I guess it is a hat.
I don't have any fancy hats. I feel bad now.
Well, PJ is going to get more props.
I like my kids' hats.
All right.
But yeah, I would say for sure that I think PJ, based on how he's been playing, he might be one of the He might be one of the scarier teams right now, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, his offense is.
Ringo scary?
He's got 4 homers today already. So like that's a really good start. So
PJ has all the same props.
yeah.
This podcast's going on crazy.
I got it.
Oh my God. Anyway, we'll
Anyway,
move on.
I was going to end with PJ's team. The hitters are pretty good. They're pretty evenly matched. But just going back to it again, like Harper's playing again is playing in Cincinnati. Same thing with what's his name, Hoskins. And then he's got Escobar goes and plays in Cincinnati. Same thing then with fucking Dyson. I don't know why he's playing.
But lose for wearing that helmet. Honestly, you should lose just for wearing that helmet.
I was only playing Dyson because I just needed another player to play. He's my stolen base guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do have some tough matchups. Are you going to play Alex Young in Cincinnati? Are you going to play Lance Lynn in New York against
Lance Lynn?
I don't know what I'm going to be doing yet. I mean, that's the thing is like having a few extra starts can give me some latitude with Sean.
I swear to God, if Julio Teheran goes off in Washington, I might kill myself.
So I'm going to be at the
game, man. Every time I see that guy, it's insane. How does he do that?
Inconsistent.
What are you wearing?
Yeah.
Stormtrooper.
Sean, does Mary Ellen know you're wearing that?
This is actually my kids.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Nice save there, Sean.
What's wrong with
My
you?
kids.
Yeah. Yeah, same with PJ's hat.
Carrie did hand it to me.
Stabbing showing up here.
Time to dock.
Oh, yeah. Drop an anchor.
I'm going to come in you.
Oh, that was a little right on the nose.
Wow. Starboard side, my friend. Starboard side. All right, we'll move on to Scotty versus Niz here. Pretty close on the offensive side. I got Scotty taking runs, homers, and OBP. I got Niz taking RBIs and stolen bases. Then I got coming down to the pitching. I got Scotty with the saves in the ERA, maybe the whip, and I got Niz taking quality starts in the K. So I got Scotty coming up with a possible 6-4 W here over Niz. What's the tiebreaker if Scotty would have a tiebreaker over Niz?
Yeah, he's got the tiebreaker.
Yeah. So Scotty again is sitting pretty even if he gets that tie, that 5-5 tie. He gets the nod there. So I think it's definitely advantage Scotty here.
Yeah, I think depending on what – I mean, he's got you got a couple – is Muncy coming back? I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
Not this week.
What? Not this week? Okay. Then, I mean, I was looking at it, and he's like with PJ, I think Scotty's actually got some of the better matchups. I mean, D. Gordon, I'm not 100%. I know he's been playing. He hasn't been playing that well. But, I mean, just going down his list, actually he's been playing. He's been playing okay. But he's in Houston. Then Arenado and Story, the Dodgers in San Diego, so that's a so-so. Brantley's going to Seattle, so whatever. But Chu he's got a 6-game series or 5-game series, 6 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-game series. Sorry, New York, Baltimore, Baltimore, Baltimore. That's awesome. And then same thing with Elvis Andrews. And I just like, so I'm kind of giving Scotty almost. I might give him almost all that hitting. Pitching wise, what do you got? What you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it.
We each have 6 starts. That's it.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's crazy.
Well, wait, really? 6 starts?
But we each have 6. And what gives me the big advantage is if I need a category, I can take pitchers on Sunday. You know, this doesn't have any money. I still got $19 to spend. So if I take care of the batting and I just need Ks and quality starts, I should be able to take care of them because I can stream half the league on Sunday or Saturday, you know?
Yeah, and I would also say, I mean, nothing against Niz, but I think you probably would be a better in-week manager than he is, to be perfectly
well,
honest.
he's certainly a weak manager, if that's what we're talking about.
I said that a better in-week manager. I wasn't saying that Niz is a poor manager or a weak manager, but he is. I was looking at it earlier, and I was giving the edge to Scotty again, a 7-3. You said 6-4. I think Scotty can manage his pitchers a little bit better. And like you said, if you wanted to pick up a couple starters to get you Ks, if you're really that far off, but I mean, I don't think you will be. If you both have 6, like what is it right now?
4-3 right now. Scotty,
Right now, I had Ozuna gave up some runs or a run, so it's
So just tell me how many Ks each. He has 9 and you have 1. So
right.
But I mean he had 7 innings. You have 9. He had 7.1 innings. He has 9 Ks. You have 1 inning and 1 K. So it's fine. I mean it's a very small sample size. Whoa. Oh my God. What the fuck happened to him?
we can't see what you're looking at, so you need
You okay,
to
buddy?
elaborate.
It's, Jock Peterson ran into the freaking wall and knocked himself out.
nice.
That's terrible.
There's like 8 guys around him right now, and they're bringing out the cart. Ooh, that is not good. They're like praying.
The cart.
I hope he's okay.
Oh, that's no good. Who is Jock Peterson on that team?
No,
Yes.
Scotty dropped him.
I dropped
Okay, then.
He's having a hell of a day, though, today. I mean, he is having a hell of a day today.
Yeah, he's killing it.
It's
Too
horrible.
soon. Too soon.
Dude, playing on the ground.
Sorry, man. He's really knocking things around today.
Poor taste, BJ.
I'm sorry. My jokes are falling flat. Jock Peterson.
But Niz, on the other hand, I was going to say on the 4th, he's only got like 5, 6 guys going, depending on, I don't know, like James McCann is in his utility spot today. And I know Vlad could change, but Vlad didn't play today? That's just weird. He still has Billy Hamilton. I know he's getting no money. Hunter Pence is on the deal. Yeah, I'm giving you that category. So
think real quick. Let's think back. Like, think about the players he could have on his team instead of $100 for Vlad right now. Like, if he really cared about this year, he could have had, I don't know, Max Scherzer and
Chris-
Verlander.
Oh no.
Well, but
Just saying.
if you think about it the other way around, is now like he wasn't playing for this year by doing that. He basically said, I'm going to play for the future, and he
Right.
still made the playoffs. So
That's true. He should have sold off, though. He should have sold.
I'll be like my opinion on the whole Max Scherzer thing is he saw an opportunity, he had some extra money, and he didn't know what to do, but he liked I said Max Scherzer. He saw Vladimir. He saw Vlad Jr. and he's like, I want to go get him. I just want to go get him. And he got up and he goes, I'll give you $100 for him. And we're all like, what? And at the winter meetings, things happen. And again, this goes back to what I was saying about it. Like, I think Niz is a good quote unquote manager of everything, but like playing against you, Scotty, you're far and far above what he does in the day-to-day stuff. Even for football, and this is not knocking him. I mean, we were talking about it the other day during our podcast before we got on it, and we said, when are you going to do the podcast? And they're like, Thursday. What did he say? They're like, Wednesday morning. I'm like, well, who's going to come on with you? You know when the games are, right? And they're like, oh, yeah. It's like little things like that you didn't think of. Me and Dom do a podcast, and people come on.
Do you think there will ever be another football podcast? Or is it over?
No.
It's over.
No. That was the one and only. And the reason that happened was because of me and Dom. Or Dom and I, whatever the fuck you want.
Not good for 1981 Productions. I think you guys should.
Oh, I didn't. They've never been on the 1981 podcast.
No.
Okay,
no,
I was
no,
gonna say you
You're
expand
not
your
under that
empire
umbrella.
for Positive forces.
No, they wanted to do one time. They were saying they were going to do Thursday afternoon podcast. I'm like, well, again, no one's going to be able to be a guest. So
12 o'clock on a Thursday, they were going to do a podcast.
I've got a job now.
Research.
Scotty could have got on.
I still can. Yeah.
He's available.
Here,
Call him.
kids.
I'll
Here,
give-
do
I'll
this,
give
not
it
a
a
problem,
test
man.
that day.
Be quiet.
This is great. The podcast, week 1 host, Scott. Week 10 host, Scott. The whole way through. And it's gonna be like week 16, and it's just gonna be Scott on the podcast by himself.
But Niz is not on. It's just
No,
Scott.
just Scott. He's
He's
driving
taking
around.
over.
Hey guys, I gotta go. Is anybody gonna be on this thing with me? Oh, man. That's great. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just bashing his team, but it is what it is. I would say I shockingly, just going back to the standings, little thing that we had. Where'd it go? Blah, 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 blah. I think it's crazy to see that, like, again, like PJ's team and Niz, like those teams, for the most of the season, I think I looked at it after we like 6, you guys haven't moved. Niz and Chris have moved a little bit, back and forth a little bit, but I mean, that's it. Dom, you've been in 9th place for the entire season. Finally, you got into 8th, and I mean, I don't know. It's a lot. It's weird to say. It was a half the league I felt was in it, and the other half wasn't for most.
Well, Matt, one of the things about this league, right, is let's say 6 weeks in, the people who are on the bottom are like, okay, we'll take all my good players, and the teams at the top are like, I'll take your good players, and then nobody moves. Now the fight's in the middle, right? The fight's like between 9th place, 8th place, up to about 5th place, right? But the top 4, you guys once you get a 10-game lead or something at the beginning of the year, like you can just keep stacking your strength. And even if I like the 5th place team got, some good players, like I'm not going to catch 10 games up on you. So it's all, I think the key, I mean, it's interesting to think about because next year maybe it's just about finding guys that are going to start well, and then you can buy your whole team 6 or 10 weeks in. I don't know.
That's a good strategy. If you could, build a good lead?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone tried to get a good lead, right? But if you, I don't know, you get guys that are all going to be starters to begin with, not like the young guys or something, right? And then you're like, boom, you're in. Whereas if you get a lot of the young guys or people who are going to start later in the year, then maybe maybe you won't have a chance to get that lead enough to stay in the game. I don't know. I mean, I was building my team for this year only, and all I need to do is be in the top 6, and here we are. And now, according to this podcast, I'm favored to beat Sean. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to do it. And then in the top 4 at that point, and really it's like a crapshoot with 4 teams left,
Nah.
Maddie.
but that's to your point. It will be interesting. Let's say if one of the if PJ or Niz ends up winning this year, that might change everybody's go at it next year. Is it everyone kind of said, oh, we're not going to catch up those top guys, but and we've seen the 5th and 6th seed win before. So if the 5th and 6th seed wins, then people are going to be less likely to sell off to say, hey, really, it's just get in, and anybody can win.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't have it up in front of me. Does anybody have can you look at past years and just see what place people were in the people that won as champions, what place they were during the season? I don't know if that's the thing we can look at or not, but.
Yeah, it is. What do you want to see?
So
see what seed won. The 1 seed doesn't win very often.
Right.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, we can do that. Well, the last couple of years, actually, the PJ Scott, Drew, Dave year. Those are the last 3 years. Dave, Scott, and PJ. You guys all were a top 3 seed.
Right. Well, who won last year? Dave won as the 3 seed.
And then you won as the 1 seed, and PJ won as the 1 seed. And then before that was me, and I won as the 1 seed. 2014 was Niz. He was not the 1 seed. I think he was the 5th seed.
No, I won.
Either way, though.
The 3 seed. The 3 seed has won the last 2 years.
Yeah. It's just about getting into the playoffs.
And then the year before that was PJ, who won as the.
He was the 1 seed.
I was the 2 seed. I had a bye.
I was the 1 seed that year. And then in 2015, Maddie won as the 1 seed. So that's.
Well, 2011 and 12, when I went back-to-back, I was the 1 seed in both of those. I know that.
Well, you were unstoppable. It'll never be that great again.
No, I was literally the next year in 2013, after the 30, I named my team Dynasty because I thought I was going to do it again.
And then Niz won as the 6th seed the year before that.
That was the 6th seed, yeah. And then Drew won as and he was what was he?
Well, the 1 year Memo won.
That funky year.
He was the 6th seed.
Drew won as the 6th seed too. So in 2013 and 14, the 6th seed won. And then everybody else has been the top 4. And then Maddie, you won as the 6th seed to win the second year.
In 2012?
2012, you were the 6th seed. So 3 years in a row, the 6th seed won.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Doable.
Go Niz.
And the year before that, you won as the 2 seed. So Mr. O was the 1 seed all the time.
I thought I was the 1 seed. No, you and Follow Me was the 1 seed. You're right.
So anyway, interesting thought. Just you really just need to get into the playoffs, and you've got a shot at it, and you got to be hot when
It's
the
the
playoffs.
1 or 2 seeds you think would win more than the other ones, but because they have that advantage, and it's not proven true. But it's just because that last week is such a bullshit week. You know,
Well, we moved it back this year, right?
Yeah, it's moved back.
Or are we doing 2 weeks at the end? I forget. What did we do for this? What's the championship this year?
1 week.
It's just 1 week. We can't do 2 weeks. But I was looking at this, and Dave's been in it like every year for the past like 5 or 6 years.
Huh.
I felt like this year was the craziest it's been, where people were giving up earliest, me included, but I feel like usually you got people sticking around a lot longer. This year was like so many people were like, I'm selling right away, really early.
Yeah, I felt like it was that was true. I think what we need to really talk about is, does anything count before 2010?
Stop. Because if I win this year, I'm going to say, why does anybody care about anything that happened before 2019?
It's history.
Wait. If you win this year, you're going to say what?
I say, well, why does anything count before 2019?
Whatever.
Random.
Dead
Scotty,
ball.
was that your team Cubbies in 2006?
Dude, I am
It doesn't even. Everything says hidden. You can't even see.
3-time champion.
You and me and Scott are all 3-time champions. We understand that.
I don't know where all the people are on the screen, but I'm assuming that.
You're pointing at nothing. All right, that's me.
I've
That's Tom.
This is the 2-time champion right here
Get out of here.
in the row.
Just hate to break it to you boys, but when I look at it, it shows that I've won 4 times.
If you're Cubbies, you have.
Yeah,
Are you Cubbies?
I'm Cubbies, so I won in 03,
You won
06,
4 times.
09.
Yeah, you won 4
That
times.
03 stuff was that like just you and like a couple other people?
It was listen. It was 6 teams. It doesn't count.
No, I remember because Jory dropped like Jason Schmidt after his
No,
first
I
bad
did.
outing.
I did.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I won that year. I don't know.
I think 2006, 2007, and 2008, when it was only 6 teams, that should not count.
I'm sorry, man.
More than 6 teams in 8, didn't we?
No, that one year was like 6 teams. And Cubbies, how many? I can't even go into. Oh yeah, 2003.
There
Oh
was
wait,
8.
2003. We had 8 teams.
Yeah.
The Cubbies, the team of dynasty, Big Stick, the franchise, the Dream Team, number 1 Stun Us, the Chairman, and the Toledo Tulips. And it was Roto.
Yeah.
Roto. It wasn't even head-to-head. It was Roto.
Let's calm down. Championships and banners fly forever. You know what I'm saying?
It was a snake
Right.
roto.
It was what?
A snake roto.
So how do we? So what? How's everyone handicapping? We got 6 guys on us right now. What's the handicap to get to get to the championship right now, or not to get to win it?
To win it all.
To be honest, I think Drew's still number 1. His team is an all-star team. Unfortunately, I got to give Maddie the nod in that. I think I'm 3. I think PJ's 4, Sean 5, and Niz 6.
I would take exactly what you said, and only thing that the one thing that I say about Drew's team is, if you look at it, he hasn't had a lower than like a 3.78 ERA in the last like 8 or 9 weeks. And
So that's one. That's only one category.
Well, and the whip has been atrocious. And with my pitching staff, I'm sorry, I think I got an amazing pitching staff. And if I can play with it, I got $3 left. Not to say like if I need it, but if I could throw some K's up there, I will.
Matt, I think it's possible that he only beat you 8-2.
Scott, and then what Scott said after that.
I think he only beat you 8-2 then. Like you can take whip in ERA.
I agree with Scotty, but I think PJ's been a little more consistent throughout the year than Scotty's team has. He's been really up, or he's been really down. I know we beat that horse this year about his horseshoe and his inconsistency, him and Sean. But I think PJ's definitely been consistently number-wise better than Scotty throughout the year, even though the record doesn't show it.
I think though, like there cannot be a Drew Scott matchup in the end. So if you want to handicap it that way, or saying like with the way it's structured right now, I think that if you took the odds on it, I think the odds of Matt Drew championship playoff whatever is probably the number one odds. After that, I see a number two odds would be like a me Scott, and then the number three odds would be like a Drew PJ, and then fourth would be like a me and.
We're all laughing about this, but
Sean's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Disrespected.
My laptop's spare. He's dying.
Niz is going to win this whole year, and we're all going to look like a bunch of assholes. Right?
I'm not disrespecting.
Oh, Pete, anything can happen in a week, you know?
So,
there's no
a possibility.
Especially at the end of the season when people start sitting and there's
There's calls like crazy. All these teams got like some random person playing right now in it. Like this Dodgers and Colorado game. There's 4 guys on the Dodgers team that aren't like no one has them on their lineup, and there's 2 guys in Colorado that no one has. Like they're just new guys playing. I mean, Walker Buehler pitched okay today. Did not. Holy shit! Really? 5 Ks?
I think Sean and Niz have a disadvantage because they have no money. So if they get some injuries, and like Scotty said, he's got $19.
I can't believe we overturned.
If he needs to buy a couple of guys at the end of the week.
But what is that going to do for him? Like really, what is it?
I can buy a category. I can buy a single category. Let's say I'm losing in Ks. I pick up 10 starting pitchers.
But that's it.
That's a category. That's huge.
Yeah.
But if you're losing a category, if you're going to do that, you're already losing in WHIP. You're already losing in ERA.
Right.
Okay, so you're losing in already 2 categories. You're going to spend the money by the K guys.
Yeah.
And then
it might be some quality starts too. He can. I mean, you can buy at the end of the week. Like if he looks like he's.
I'm not saying it's nothing, but it's not something that like I would be too worried about. I think unless you know what the only thing I could see is that you're losing in like home runs and like or RBIs or runs. You could buy like 5 of those guys and play every single guy who hits off leadoff.
Well, no, because you only have so many spots that you can play for the batters at any given time, but the pitchers, like there's guys that are playing, so you pull them out and someone can use that spot. Like you could have 40,000 hitters, it doesn't matter. Like you can only slot in who's there. The only thing you could probably buy if you were going to buy a category for the hitting is stolen bases, right? Because like you could be like, I'm going to get Kevin Kiermaier and name the 4 guys and just be like, I'm going to put them all in there. I don't care about the other categories, and I'm going to get 2 or 3 stolen bases tonight. That could happen.
And like Niz right now has 3 offensive bench spots. Like 1 or 2 guys go down, that could really hinder him. So like we've seen it. So I think, and same with Sean. Like I think having that money, not having money, could be a disadvantage somewhere down the road.
So let's say you did that today, and let's say you picked up the 5 starting pitchers. I mean, I'm looking at these guys. Out of these guys, you Drew Smiley at Cincinnati, you're going to pick him up. I would assume that not too bad. Hauser, would you pick him up? He's playing against Houston, maybe. Oscar Wojciechowski, whatever. Cal Control, Joe Ross. So if you picked all those guys up, you would have 8, 11, 7, 19, 20, 21, 27 Ks. That's 5 starting pitchers. But your ERA and WHIP would be shot.
Well, you'd only do it if you already had that, like, lost or won,
But I'm saying that. So you have those 2 lost. You're only going to –
quality starts, too, maybe.
No way. You know how many quality starts those 4 guys got?
Well,
0.
I'm saying you have a chance at it, right? Like, you don't automatically win anything.
Out of all the pitchers that won today, out of every pitcher that won today that was a free agent, only 2 quality starts. Adam Wainwright and Jordan Zimmerman.
All right. That's 2 guys.
That's 2 quality starts. He gets 2 quality starts then. He would have picked up like a bunch of them.
The average team only gets like 4 quality starts every week, right?
I get like 9.
I'm not an average team, and I get more than that.
And Sean only has 2 offensive bench spots, so he could literally, if he makes a run, he could easily not have a full offense if things could happen. And so that's something that can
I'll take
play.
y'all on. I don't care.
That's
Okay,
right,
fuck.
Tommy Mansky.
Sean's like a animal in a corner. He's frightened. He's scared. He might bite somebody. Anything's possible.
Right.
Don't mess with him.
Man, look at that. Not there.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, Maddie, last week you had 3 quality starts, just to fact check a little bit.
Hey, Scott, how many did I have?
I'm sure you had a lot. Why don't you tell me?
I think it was like 9. I don't know. I have to look. 6?
6.
6 is not bad.
Yeah, 6 is not bad. I also stat 8 pitchers.
That's a lot.
8 pitchers. I sat 8 pitchers.
That could swing like a whole week. Like if you bought 8 pitchers at the end, think
No,
about
I
that.
sat 8 pitchers.
No, but I'm saying it's the same
starters?
idea.
Was that all starters or was that
Yeah, all starters.
combination? So 8 starters. Okay.
I didn't need to. Maybe it was 6.
All right.
All right.
Who's gonna-
Anything else we want to add on about this championship side?
No, but I want to be the chump, though.
So when you put my name on the trophy, you don't need the dots. It's just PJ, like the letters.
Oh, capital J or lowercase j?
Yeah, capital. Yeah.
Okay, capital P, capital J. Okay.
Are we paying for
Capital
the
H.
engraving on the wrestling belt? Or is that going to be something that's what you
I
get?
would disinfect that thing. I wouldn't touch
I don't like-
that thing. I wouldn't touch that thing.
I don't mind the belt. I think it's a cool idea. I feel like the belt's more of a football thing, but I will not be.
Why don't we get like a U necklace, like a.
Yeah, the chain.
The belt, if and when I win this year, I will not be retaining that belt. That Dave can keep that belt. He can do whatever he wants.
Really?
with the belt. Yeah,
The belt's awesome.
I don't want the belt.
Why don't you want the belt?
I told you, it's not a
glows
thing.
in the dark, okay?
This is a league that has been created off of values, family.
Trophies that are a year late.
Yeah, right. I had it in my office for like 3 days.
You also broke it.
Think the
It cost
belt.
another like $40 to get that thing fixed.
Sean, you
That's
won
why
the
you think
bees.
the belt.
Sean, you won a bees ball trophy the one year, didn't you?
I did. I win a bees ball
Bees
trophy.
ball. It says
Yeah, I was
bees
giving out
ball.
trophies for like first, second, and third place for a couple of years.
It
The
said
belt has
bees
value.
ball on it. It said bees ball on it. The League of Integrity.
I think the belt has a lot of value, and it's kind-traditional, where you get to pass it on, and the
And
winner.
that's what the show's been 1 year, and he bought it for himself.
But he started tradition, though.
It's fucking with tradition.
It's not as fabled as like the keg. I mean, that's like the Stanley Cup.
It comes with penicillin.
Yeah, oh God.
As it should.
Yeah,
As it should.
like the Stanley Cup. So, you know how many people probably did things with that cup?
Two
Not
cups.
enough.
Was it 2 cups and a what?
Oh, God. 2 girls, 1 big silver cup. So,
All right, let's move on to
All
that.
right.
Okay, we're moving on to the loser bracket.
Yes,
Yeah,
we got Dave versus Ken, pretty close on the offensive side, but I think it's going to be the pitching for Dave, even though Matty did all he could to give Ken a competitive team. I got Dave winning big 8-2.
Yeah, Dave's team's on fire, and I mean,
No, it's like a burning dumpster. It's on fire.
It was on fire. That was the worst week anyone's ever put up against you last week. It's like burning.
It's still burning. It's still burning.
like when
It's still
someone
on fire.
knocks shit on
Dave's team is
somebody's
on
doorstep.
fire.
hey,
Matt's like hiding like a gasoline thing in the back. He's like, I don't know where it happened. It's on fire. I don't know.
I still give it to Dave. I think it's like a 6-4.
I'm going Ken.
What?
I think Ken's gonna pull this guy out. He's
All right, I
got
gotta look at
Castellanos just hitting home runs left and right.
He is.
Uh,
I want Ken to lose just because he's a good cook.
Because why?
Ken's a good cook. I want for the draft. Host it.
You guys aren't going to Buffalo Wild Wings for this one?
No, that's
No.
okay.
Oh,
No, with Jim and his buddy.
his
Domino.
buddy. All right.
Oh, we're wrapping it up.
Next
moving.
one. Let's
We
go.
got one more. And then we got Max and Memo here. I got Max here winning 7-1. They're tying quality starts.
Max
But I
has
got
got
Max
2 saves, 9 Ks, a 0 ERA, and a .4 whip so far. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Max too. I'm gonna give it to Max 7-3.
Yeah,
We'll have a
Memo's
Ken
got
Memo.
nobody left on his team. Like his team is just decimated from injury and trades, and yeah, I think I see Memo as the most likely chump this year.
Well, didn't we have to go at his house this time anyway? Like, so we're just gonna do it again, 2 years in a row? Has anybody
Laura
chumped?
hosted twice.
Has anybody chumped twice in a row?
No one's chumped twice in a row.
Not in baseball.
That'd be some special rule about that.
He has to wear
We
the
have to
belt.
hang him? To hang him? Wow.
Wow,
First we'll hang the Mexican. Wow.
really taking it to an extreme.
Oh, yikes!
Oh, extreme.
Wow.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon. For what?
From what?
To hang a dude.
Yikes!
Wow.
Okay.
Yikes.
Well,
All right.
I would
Well,
say like-
Maddie would wish all you luck, but he doesn't need luck this week. So,
Yeah.
Scotty, any closing remarks?
I don't know. This is fun. I think this has been a fun year. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. You know, I'm constantly on my phone looking at every single game, and it's a blast. And it's kind of been that way for most of the season. So it's been fun, and obviously all of us are hoping for the best. And good luck to everyone, but not really.
Well
Sean,
said.
what do you
well
got?
said. Tommy Mansky, what do you got?
it's been an unexpectedly good year for me. However, I think my team's kind of sputtering out a little bit. But it's been fun, nevertheless. It's always better to be interested than out in June.
I think Sean's. I mean, you don't have to give up, man. It's been one day.
Oh, no. I mean, we're gonna
Well,
try.
Miz already gave up, apparently.
Like
after one
Hulk
day.
Hogan, I will be coming back trying to give PJ the big boot.
There you go.
That will be the case.
Nice. Well, hey, just a quick shout out to Matt and Dom for making this this year. The
Where's
podcast
Scotty
has really
go?
well. The podcasts have been awesome. It's been a nice wrinkle this year. It's been fun. It's been something. Every Monday morning, I'm like driving to work and listen to this podcast, and it's something I look forward to. So thanks for doing it.
Why are you in
Thanks
the
for
dark?
listening.
That's kind of creepy.
So now someone shut the lights off on me.
Oh.
Time to go to bed.
All right, Maddie, final words.
No, a lot of the same things that Scotty was saying. It's been fun. I mean, I don't think I've checked my phone more often this year, like constantly. Like I said once in the parking lot before I left work for about 20 minutes, just watching a game. And it's been really fun this year for me. This podcast has been fun. Everything else has been fun. I am excited. I really am. I feel like this whole year from the winter meetings on, like I've been more I can almost remember. I remember everything. You know, Scotty falling off the chair at the winter meetings, and
Scott, do you remember that?
remember that?
15%.
These are fun.
And from that to like trades and things like that.
Vetoes.
What?
Vetoes.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
one thing that like this league is so fun, and I get so mad at that part of the time of the year, and it happens every year, like twice. So,
But a lot of it's probably because we want to have fun, and there's nothing more fun than watching you go crazy over a veto.
now that I can see that that's pretty true. I've been watching Gavin Lux for the last like 4 minutes, and like everyone's like hovering over this kid, like he's like the second coming of Jesus.
Whose team is he on?
Seriously, like the real baseball team?
No, fantasy team.
Sean. Drew
Max
got.
Evans?
No,
Drew
oh
has
my God, Chris, 4 years
So he's in the consolation bracket. Hope he does really well.
with Gavin Lux.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Well, thank you guys for coming on last minute. We appreciate that. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for listening. Hope to have you guys on. Like to have the winners back on next week to join Drew and Maddie. And yeah, so we will see. And then we will have the two teams going for the Toilet Bowl, or AK hosting the draft. We'll have that matchup too coming up. So until next week, Make sure you have your hats ready and your props, and you stay classy, Chicago baseball.